here in Leicester. It's another session on a busy day of snooker at the qualifiers for the Unibet British Open. And this is a match on table 1 between Marco Fu and Stephen Hallworth. Remember, there's one round to get to the venue. So whoever wins this match will be off to the Centaur in Cheltenham at the end of August. And it's a random draw, so they've been pulled out of the hat against each other. Not much between them in the rankings, actually, just 7 places. Marco Fu 68 in the world, Stephen Hallworth 75. Robin Dalgleish is the referee. Best of 7 frames, so no interval.
All the best. All the best. Thank you. First frame, Marco Fu to break.
They have played twice before, but it's going back over a decade. But Fu won them both 4-0. 2014 European Tour Event 5, round 1, and round 1 of the 2016 European Masters. But Stephen Hallworth was very much starting out then. And of course, Marco Fu has had a few issues since, health issues, so has fallen down the rankings a bit. I mean, he was in his heyday then, so looking forward to this match. I think it will be high quality. Stephen Hallworth has qualified for the Wuhan Open, and Marco Fu has qualified for the Shenzhen Open so far this season. Well, just a sort of glancing double kiss, so not too bad. A fuller kiss, he might have left that red. Wow, well, what a pot from Fu. Straight out the gate with a real high quality pot there to middle. But just jaws that red using the rest. And an angle there. Had he potted that on the blue to get into the reds, but not to be. We have 6 matches in progress this afternoon. We've got Onyi, a fellow Hong Kong professional, of Marco Fu's against Yao Peng Cheng. Mahmoud El Hariri from Egypt against Lan Yuhao. Leon Crowley from Ireland against Long Jihang. Lu Wenwei against Jordan Brown. Thanawat Tirapong Paiboon against Gao Yang. And then there's another session at 7 o'clock. The main match then on table 1 will be Liam Bullen against Daniel Wells. Well, not one of Fu's best. Stephen Hallworth returned to the tour at the start of last season, so this is the second year of his card. So 75 in the world, trying to get in the top 64 by the end of the campaign. And these first matches are so important because if you don't win them, you don't get any ranking points. So obviously he wants to go to Cheltenham, but it's the points that are the key. Particularly early season, if you can take some pressure off yourself by doing well early on. Just caught that red. Just flicked it. Barely moved, but he did catch it. So quite a cagey start. Fu did get in with that wonderful red to middle, but couldn't keep the break going. Missed one with the rest of the yellow pocket.
Foul.
Well, let's see if that in-off makes a difference. Not really. Just going to play safe off these reds on the left-hand side. Maybe a chance here, though, for Hallworth. Managed to get the cue ball out as well. So let's see if he can just relax into this match. As I say, it's been a mixed start to the season, but the China Open, he didn't qualify. He did win a couple of matches there. He has qualified for Wuhan, not for the Shenzhen Open, although, again, he did win a match there and get out of his group at the Championship League. So he's built up a few points already. Of course, Wuhan is the big one. Qualifying there, beat Zhang Anda 5-4 on the black, having got a snooker in the decider. I'm sure Stephen Hallworth knows that this is a tough draw against Marco Fu, so experienced, capable of such heavy scoring, so he himself will need to make the breaks today. He probably won't be able to just scrap it out against a very advanced tactical player. And this is a good scoring opportunity in the first frame. He'll play Liam Davies in the first round of qualifying for the English Open on Saturday to complete the week. It's been such a big week for the players here. 3 tournaments to qualify for. Chance to get some momentum, but equally if you do badly, you know, your season is not looking so rosy.
19.
Hallworth's already made 3 centuries this season. He had 8 last season, so already scoring has been pretty good.
20. Yeah, of course.
Just noticed something on the cue. We'll ask him referee Robin Dalglish to give it a clean. Well, he's on this red too. Right corner, he's going to need the rest and the long stuff, but it's also about getting out of there for the next colour. See Leo Scullion and Tatiana Wollaston there, senior referees. Of course, Leo's retired, but he's an assessor now, so he's keeping an eye on the others. Tatiana alongside as well. And Hallworth has got the cue ball out of the danger zone there, or avoided a cannon with the reds anyway, so quite promising opening this. Oh, it was, till he missed that. Well, he was surprised by that. I suppose at least he's blocked the pocket with the pink. Been a very busy day already. We've had 12 results. Victories for Liam Graham, Anthony McGill, Jack Lazowski, Jimmy Robertson, Matthew Stevens, Jamie Clark, Zhang Anda, Artem Zhuzhin, Jackson Page, Joshua Thomond, Ricky Walden and Ulian Boyko. As Fu pots the red off the pink. Yeah, so all those names I've just read out will be off to Cheltenham. We don't know yet who they'll play because the draw hasn't been made yet for round 2. No, sir.
Marco Fu, 1.
I don't think these pockets have been overly generous. I think they're playing about right, really. 6 centuries this today earlier in the first 2 sessions from the 12 matches. Well, I'm not sure if you can see the pink. He's on the yellow. The green's an option as well. But I think he's just roll into this green.
Stephen Hallworth, 1.
First frame in the books for Mahmoud El Haridi from Egypt. Break of 58 against Lan Yuhao. Now Fu needing to be so careful here. I suppose the pink blocking the pocket helps. Just caught a red there, but that pink blocking the pocket made it less likely he was going to leave a red on. Well, this red is pottable. He's having a look at the potting angle to right corner. And you would think that at the very least he'd be on the pink if it goes in. Yeah, so back in, already a few in front. And this is quite a good position now to try and get the first frame on the board. Well, his reaction suggests that these reds are covering one another. Got that sort of slow walk, which tells you he's not on one. This red's still pottable to middle. Yeah, needed to be precise. So that's a missed opportunity, really. Having got in with the good long red and landed on the pink, that will frustrate him. 21 the difference in this opening frame. Fu unable to get in, though. British Open, first held 1985, ran until 2004 and then was revived in 2021. So Marco Fu did play in the original iteration of it, although he's never enjoyed much success in the British Open, never been past the last 32 round. He's appeared in that round 6 times. Well, that's got him in trouble. Stephen Hallworth got to the last 16 in 2022.
Foul. The miss. Stephen
Well,
Hallworth fall.
Could have it put back, but there's a red potentially to left corner. Could be easier. Yeah. Not surprised he's having it put back. I think could get a better chance than that. This looks a good shot. Yeah, nicely judged. The direction, the pace, the weight of the shot.
Foul and a miss. Stephen Hallworth 4.
And that is also going back. Well, that's, yeah, he's going back, yeah. No reason to get him to play from where it finished, so. Robin Dalglish again with the replacement.
Yeah. Yeah, Stephen?
Now, I'm sure he can see this full, so he doesn't need it this time. The warning will be administered that he loses the frame. But he's made the adjustment. If anything, just caught that a little thicker than intended. But now, Marco Fu with his best chance really the whole frame. He's 29 behind, but plenty to go at.
What?
Long Zhihang of China on a break of 77, so he's going to be 1-0 up against Leon Crowley. On Yi has won the first frame against Yao Pengcheng.
Seven. 8. 14. 15. 21.
Yeah, well, he had the angle to try and disturb both reds, but
22.
of course you're never quite sure where the cue ball will finish, and it's not particularly good for Fu. Need a good pot on this pink to keep going. Not close to the pot, and needs a bit of fortune here. Is the pink going to come in the way?
Marco Fu 22.
Well, is there a gap? Is the old saying true, there's always a gap? It looks like there is from the way Hallworth's walked around the table. Very purposeful. 7 points in front. Ooh, this is a bit hard. This is a bit hard. Wow. Well, if he could get the cue ball up somewhere behind the yellow, then it would be quite unpleasant for Marco Fu. Yeah. Well, actually, it's just come past those balls, so you can see the red. It's not a snooker. Doesn't want to catch this too thick, though. Yeah, which he's sort of done. Not left it, though. I say that, he's gone for the double. And he needs a bit of fortune here. And my word, he's got it. He's got it. He raises his hand as well he might. That red could have finished anywhere. Long Zhihang made a 1-3-3 in the opening frame, so that's our 7th century of the day against Leon Crowley, 1-0 there. And Fu just having a bit of trouble with the logo. It's been stuck on his shirt. Or his waistcoat, rather. He could just clip this red, I think. It's a bit of an unpleasant area, though, isn't it, there, with the balls configured as they are for snookers. But he's not in one. It's an easy hit off the cushion, but it's about not leaving the red on. And they'll be more than happy with that. Good hit. Really good pot. So it looks like the yellow does go to the green pocket. So this is the key shot now, getting on it. Be 16 in front and then not much more to do to win this opening frame. Terrific red from Hallworth. This needs to run a bit though. Well, he could be better on it. If he feels it's too thin, he could play quite a straightforward snooker behind the pink. But it's a bit of a chance missed after such a good pot on the last red. Anyway, 16 in front. And he's holding the cards with Fu snookered. This next shot, a big one, clearly. If he leaves the yellow one, Fu, then You'll expect to lose the frame. Hallworth just need yellow, green and brown.
Foul. A miss.
Ooh, is this a free ball?
Stephen
Not
Hallworth foul.
quite. Now, the fact he's not the blue safe, maybe Hallworth will think, well, that's in my favour.
Yep.
But he is having them replaced. Blue on its spot, so that's straightforward enough for the referee. Well, they won't be going back this time.
Foul. Miss.
Hallworth needs
Hallworth 4.
the yellow. 25 in front, so this yellow, which is basically unmissable, to win the opening frame bar in snookers. Want to get somewhere near the green, of course, but this yellow is the frame ball. So in the end, a good decision to lay that snooker on the yellow behind the pink.
9.
This would be a big win for Hallworth, not just for the ranking points, but to beat Marco Fu, who's a player everyone admires in the game. And, well, he's got the first frame.
14. The frame.
So a bit of a battle on the last red, but in the end it was that snooker on the yellow that was key, and Hallworth leads Fu 1-0. Still 1-0 to Mahmoud El Haridi against Lang Yuhao, but he's pink and black, 13 in front on pink and black, and he's at the table, El Haridi, so looking like 2-0. I'll let you know. On Yi and Yao Peng Cheng is 1 each, or just about to go. Long Zhihang after that 1-3-3 break is 1-0 up against Leon Crowley. Still first frame, Thanawat, Tirapong, Baiboon and Gao Yang. Slight disparity in terms of the number of letters on the scoreboard there. And the other match is also 0-0, Jordan Brown and Lu Wenwei. In fact, I say that, Lu Wenwei's just won it. Literally just won it. And Lang Yuhao needs the black to force a respot with Mahmoud El Haridi. You can see the various matches taking place there. There's Terry Camilleri refereeing on table 2 on Yi against Yao Peng Cheng. Just a reminder, whoever wins this match, we won't know who they'll play in Cheltenham until we get to Cheltenham, because that's when the draw will be made for round 2. Top 16 players have their matches in this round, the last 1 to 8 round, held over. So the format is slightly different. It's a tiered draw, of course, in the Chinese events that we've had so far this season. But in the British Open, it's an open draw, flat draw, everyone in round 1. But the top 16 have their matches played at the venue, because people want to see him at the venue, obviously. Mahmoud El Haridi did win that second frame on the black, so 2-0 over Lang Yuhao. does he think there's some elaborate 5-ball plant on? I kind of want to see him go for it, actually. Won't be taking liberties against Marco Fu, who is such an established, accomplished break builder, 5 maximums and 566 centuries to his name. 5 this season already.
1.
Bit inconsistent, I think, these days. He's had, obviously, issues with his eyes that did at one point look to have completely wrecked his career. He's had wildcards to continue. Huge figure, of course, in Hong Kong sport. They'd love to see him at the World Grand Prix. Of course, he's got to be in the top 32 in the one-year rankings going into the new year to play in that event in his home country next February. So it's a tall order, but he would be very popular. Clearly, addition to that.
Six. $13. $14.
Well, he's got the angle to go into them. He could play, though, on the red to left corner. Yep, that's what he's chosen.
$21. $22.
Well, doesn't seem that he's on the pink. Blue it is then.
$27.
Panawat Boon has won the first frame against Gao Yang. But Marco Fu has broken down here.
Marco Fu, 27.
It's not been a great start for Fu. He did have chances in the first frame. Doesn't quite seem as dialed in as you would expect him to be. And Hallworth has got a sense and opportunity here. He watches as much snooker as anyone these days, of course, as a top commentator. Which he says has definitely helped him, watching the way top players go about things and how they cope with pressure. You won't enjoy that, though. That's not quite gone to plan, that shot.
8. Touching ball.
Touching ball, so he's got a pretty easy play away to balk. Just annoyed he couldn't continue the break.
Stephen Hallworth, 8.
Jordan Brown has won the first against Liu Wenwei. So all matches now truly underway with frames on the board in each. Well, that could be a pretty decisive shot in this frame. The red's over the pocket, and the rest of the reds are very well positioned for Marco Fu. So just got to land on a colour really here, and should be away in this frame, you would think, although of course he didn't get very far with his first chance in this frame. He's on the pink.
One.
Oh dear. Well, I did say earlier, you know, he's not quite switched on here, and that it's a bad sign. It suggests he's not maybe concentrating like he should be. Very unexpected miss from Fu. It's not the pink safe, the black's on the cushion as well, but the blue available for Stephen Hallworth.
Six. Seven. Twelve. Stephen Hallworth, 12.
Well, both frames have kind of followed a similar pattern, really. Stop-start. I think if you're struggling in a match, and both players kind of have so far, then it does become about attitude and who can kind of accept it. And Marco Fu, certainly with his experience and just general demeanour, you know, would be able to do that. And Stephen Hallworth, he's won a frame already, so there's no reason to sort of berate himself. He's not being outplayed by any means.
1.
Well, played that one well. Same issue that Hallworth had, the pink and black tied up, but you can work off the blue. Try and pick these loose reds off.
Six. Seven. 12. 13. 18.
That logo's sort of threatened to come off at any point.
19.
Anyway, the blue puts him 32 in front. So he'll need the two reds on the left-hand side. He won't need the red tied up with the black. Well, trying to move the red there, but
24.
he didn't. The logo he's fiddling with, I said earlier, that's his own logo. Now, if that came off and hit a ball, that would be a foul. If the sponsor's logo came off, because that's been put on him, that wouldn't be considered a foul if it hit the ball. So there's a distinction made.
Marco Fu, 24.
Well, this is a little like the last frame in reverse, where we got to about this stage and it was Hallworth who was leading. Of course, he eventually did win it. He's going to move this red. Of course, he will need it. Played that well.
One.
No good.
6.
So back to the safety.
Stephen Hallworth, 6.
It's not been the most electrifying match yet. There's no point pretending otherwise. I mean, we saw one yesterday, obviously, between Elliot Slessor and Chan Bing-yu, which is as good as matches we'll probably see all season. But, you know, you're not going to get that every day. This, I'm sure, will come to life at some point. But, of course, in a best-of-7, these early frames very important. Marco Fu, if he goes 2-0 down, he's suddenly under the gun a bit. It is 2-0 to Long Jihang over Leon Crowley. He made 1-3-3 in the first frame, won the second on the black. Lu Wenwei is on a maximum, he's on 88. All reds and blacks. Against Jordan Brown, who leads 1-0. Tepchara and Nu got to 73 earlier and broke down, and Lu Wenwei's broken down as well on 88, but 1-1 with Jordan Brown. You know, we've had 244 maximum breaks now on the official list, but how many hundreds more near misses, attempts, people getting to 10, 11, 12 reds have there been? Just incalculable, really. Of course, we've seen players before now miss the last black. No. Wow, I mean, you couldn't really have predicted that when he went to play the shot, that he would hit the black. Seven points, you know, with two reds left, you'd only be giving away, because now Fu 33 in front. red and colour required for him. Whereas before that shot, he needed both reds. And Hallworth has pushed pink and brown safe there, which is not in his favour. The black's on the cushion as well, so Marco Fu a big favourite now for this frame, you would think. Well, this could be a chance now. Not easy, this red, but as I say, Fu 33 in front. I mean, the pink, I guess, would be available, so if he can pot this, could be a chance to kill the frame off. Not to be, though.
One.
Well, the brown is safe, but can he just nudge it here and stay on the red? He's played that shot. Is he on the red? I think he is. Just trying to bring the brown
6
into more open play. Not the most straightforward of clearances, but Fu has had several chances already to win this frame and level the match at 1 each. Well, he's a bit short on this yellow. He's a bit short. He might have to go around the table now for the green. And of course, the further the cue ball travels, the more likely position won't be obtained. Well, certainly not ideal position on the next ball. Shaking his head. Well, has managed to hold it, so
15.
Still on the green, albeit not as nicely as he may like. Just talking to someone in the front row, maybe they're moving.
Stephen Hallworth, 15.
Well, the good news for Hallworth is that Fu also needs the brown. And he's not on it.
3. Marco Fu, 3.
Good hit, but double kiss. Well, now it feels like it's about the black here on the side cushion. Hallworth needs the 4 balls to win a dramatic second frame. But it's about pink to black, you would think. Was always going to leave himself high on the blue because that was the angle he had on the brown. Oh, well, a bit sort of in between. This obviously is on it to the middle, but as I say, it's about landing on the black, which you'll also need. Well, he's on it about as well as he could be. So the black then to win a dramatic second frame and lead 2-0. Nicely done. Well, the chance came and he took it. A half-hour frame goes to Lincoln's Stephen Hallworth. And I think what the good thing for him is that he would say himself, he's not played that well yet, but the fact is he's leading 2-0. When the chance came there for the little clearance, brown to black, he took it well. Now on Yi, on table 2, has just made a 76 break to lead Yao Peng Cheng 2-1. Of course, he's had a good time of it in the early qualifiers. Still 2-0 Long Jiang over Leon Crowley. Danawat Tirapong Pai Bird is 1-0 upon Gao Yang and Lu Wenwei and Jordan Brown, 1 each. 6 matches in this session, but of course we are back at 7 local time, a couple of hours from now, where the feature match tonight will be Liam Pullen against Daniel Wells. We've got the likes of Fang Zhengyi, Ryan Day, who's a former winner of this British Open back in 2022, 4 years ago now. Brit Singh Chadha, Zach Surety, Jamie Jones, among the players in action later.
Frame 3, call food to break.
So not the Marco Fu performance that maybe Stephen Hallworth was expecting so far. And he has just been efficient in taking enough chances to win the first 2 frames. It's only best of 7, so this 3rd frame feels quite big for Fu to try and stay in touch. Well, this red is on. And he must be feeling good. 2-0 up. Yeah, middled it.
1.
I didn't quite go to plan. He's trying to get reds moving, but didn't sort of get the meat of the pat there, as it were.
Stephen Hallworth, 4. Foul. The miss. Stephen Hallworth, 4. One. Four. Five.
Well, he just looks more confident now. Sensing that Fu is struggling and sensing, therefore, an opportunity.
Eight.
I just can't quite get comfortable on this next shot. Got to keep that toe on the carpet. Referee having a look. Helps being tall.
No.
He was a semi-finalist in the shootout in 2023 as an amateur. And went by the nickname the Lincolnshire Sausage, which is
50.
one of the more extraordinary nicknames. It hasn't really stuck, I don't think, which I think is good news for Stephen, really. Leon Crowley's pulled one back against Long Jiang, 2-1 to Long there. And Mahmoud El Haridi is 3-0 up now against Lan Yuhao. Just won a black ball frame, actually. That third. Well, the cue ball's nowhere here. Let's end a break.
21. Stephen Hallworth, 21. Foul. Stephen Hallworth, 4.
Just getting the chances, isn't he? Another one here. After that in off. Hand in the cue ball in the D. Fu not putting up the sort of fight that Hallworth may have expected him to. Certainly, you know, different to the other two times they played. He's both 4-0 to Fu, but that's over a decade ago now, both matches. Doesn't want to catch the knuckle. Annoying, because he'll feel he's definitely on top. He'll feel that Fu is struggling. He'll sense the opportunity. But again, that visit didn't come to much.
Stephen Hallworth, 6.
Played a good safety though. Well, this red needs to stop from Fu's perspective, and it has done. Otherwise it could have been over the pocket. A bit slumped in that seat, isn't he, Fu? He doesn't look completely with it today. That's better. That's a good pot. But black and pink not in great spots right now in this frame. Black might go actually to left corner, but anyway, he just needs to pot a few and get his arm going here.
Six. Seven. Twelve. 13.
Well, could try and break up those reds by the black. Just playing on the loose one though. But now,
19.
that shot looks like the one. Try and get these balls into play. Stephen Hallworth having a little look.
$24.
Didn't really work out as he would have hoped, but he can bring this red into play. He's 15 behind. And back in the frame.
Marco Fu, 24.
Push that red towards right corner. There's Oliver Lyons, Stephen Hallworth's good friend. Former semi-finalist in this tournament 2 years ago, British Open.
1.
Well, it's got to be blue here to continue. Yeah, Oliver Lyons is in action at 10 o'clock in the morning against Sir Yishen of China. There he is. Looking very summery.
6.
Which he's entitled to in the summer.
7.
Well, the sun hasn't shone on Marco Fu so far, but let's see how far he gets here. Just 8 points behind. Just looked a little bit kind of flat. I mean, he's not a player that exudes much emotion anyway, but just
12.
felt his concentration in the first couple of frames let him down a bit.
13.
Just trying to kind of spark into life in this match, really.
19.
So it's all about now where he leaves himself on this last red. Pink's awkward, but he won't need that. Well, it's not good for a pot, but he'll be looking for the safety.
26.
Been bits and pieces stuff, no sort of substantial breaks in terms of size from either.
Marco Fu,
So Fu
26.
leads by 11 points on the last red. But of course he was ahead in the last frame and seemingly in control, and eventually Hallworth cleared from brown to black to steal it. So surely if Fu can land nicely on the yellow, then he's going to make it 2-1 as opposed to 3-0. Bit pacey, is it? No, he's okay. 18 in front, so needs yellow and green. So
10.
Nothing that special, but what's important is to win the frame, and it looks like he's done that. With a possible 4 frames still to play. The concern for Hallworth is if Fu now hits his groove, starts scoring, because when he gets into that rhythm, he's very hard to beat. Haven't seen it yet, but
17.
the danger is maybe it's coming. Could have been 3-0 down. He's not played well yet, but he's very much in the match.
22.
Hallworth lays his cue on the table, looking for an exit, and his lead is reduced to 2-1. The other scores, Mahmoud El Haridi 3-0 over Lan Yuhao. On Yi 2-1, going 2-all with Yao Peng Cheng. Long Zhihang 2-1 over Leon Crowley. Danawat Tirapong Boon 2-0 over Gao Yang. Jordan Brown 2-1 over Lu Wenwei. It's day one of qualifying, 2 days for the Unibet British Open to reach the second round stage, the last 64. The top 16 will play their matches in the last 1 to 8 at the venue, the Centaur in Cheltenham. Centaur is part of Cheltenham Racecourse, and it'll be the 4th year there. Final stage is August the 31st to September the 6th. So both players have left the arena. We will pick it up when they come back. Danawat Tirapong Boon is going to be 3-0 up over Gao Yang. He's on a break of 72. Snooker's needed there. Yao Peng Cheng a break of 70 to level 2-2 with On Yi. So Marco Fu returns, and we're ready for frame 4 of a possible 7, with Stephen Hallworth leading 2-1.
Do you want another one?
Oh, well, his logo is come off.
Frame 4, Stephen Hallworth to break. One.
She hasn't quite got there. I don't know if this table is the quickest, actually. I thought earlier on today, maybe playing as quickly as some tables, but anyway, he may just have underhit it. But either way, he's missed that. He wasn't on it very nice. And I mean, he doesn't give much away, Marco, but you can see he's a bit annoyed with the way things are going. Even though he won that last frame, it's been a struggle today.
One. Eight. Nine.
So this is the last of the loose reds.
16.
But had an angle to disturb a few, and that has worked out very nicely.
17.
That's okay.
22.
Well, there haven't been any big breaks in the match. It's been bits and pieces stuff, but Hallworth determined to change that here. I'm sure he's picked up on the fact that Fu, as I say, isn't quite, where he would want to be today. And just the body language as well hasn't been great. So this is the time to strike. Oh dear, what a miss.
Stephen Hallworth.
He can't believe it. Well, that's maybe the most frustrating error of the match for Hallworth, because it was a great scoring chance, that. And then you have to try and settle your emotions and control how you're feeling. Not easy. Trying to play the right shot here, but he'll be so annoyed with himself. Meanwhile, Lanya Howe has won the fourth frame against Mahmoud El Haridi. 3-1 there to El Haridi. 56 break from Lanya Howe. 3-0 to Thanawat Tirapong Paiboon against Gao Yang, the 90 break in frame 3. Jordan Brown's won a black ball frame to lead Lu Wenwei 2-1. Well, it was all about the cue ball really, and he's trying to get it somewhere towards the baulk cushion, but didn't quite manage it. Kissed to Brown. Oh dear, long way from that one.
One.
Yeah, good red. He potted a similar red to middle to the opposite middle, the right hand side in frame 1.
Seven. 8.
Well, he's come very close to this red. He's not on the black. That's a massive error from Fu. Saw Hallworth sort of bob up and down to see if he was seeing things right, and he was. So again, we saw it with Hallworth missing to left middle. It was a good scoring chance that just unravelled very quickly. It's time for Marco Fu. What a shot. All the mistakes we've seen from both. That's a terrific pot. To play on this red to the same middle pocket.
Six. 7.
So, Hallworth back in, looking for 3-1. Need to develop the cluster of 4 reds though, because this open one is the only one that currently pots.
20.
Unless, well, he's looking at the plant there, potentially to right corner. That would help. Because if he was on that plant, then that would open everything up. So he wouldn't have to disturb them. So let's see in a couple of shots' time whether that is actually on.
21.
If not, then he's going to go into them here. Yeah, nicely played. 35 in front.
28.
Need a couple more reds here to lead 3-1.
29.
The blue and Fu can only tie. So this is the ball to put Stephen Hallworth on the brink of qualification for the British Open final stages. Three snookers required.
Pink ball. Stephen Hallworth, 35.
I'm trying to get the pink safe, but he would have liked to have covered the red. But Marco Fu not playing on. 3 snookers needed. Not a good sign, that, because the red was available. Anyway, he's seen enough of it. So 3-1 it is to Stephen Hallworth. And, well, that's the best frame played so far. I know he slipped up initially, but got back in with a really good red to the green pocket. Yao Peng Cheng over the garden fence there on table 2. He's 2-2 with On Yi. Jordan Brown's had a 70 break to lead Lu Wenwei 3-1. It's 3-0 Thanawat Tirapong Pai Boon over Gao Yang, and he's in front in the next. Long Jihang 2-1 upon Leon Crowley, and Mahmoud El Haridi 3-1 over Lan Yuhao. Not been Marco Fu's day, and it's not so much. I mean, 3-1 in a best of 7. It's, you know, it's not the worst deficit, but it's more the performance that's concerning. He hasn't really brought anything close to his A game yet, and time is running out.
Frame 5. Marco Fu to break.
good pot, but it was a poor break-off from Fu.
1.
Well, the blue's actually gone in, but the white went in as well.
Stephen Hallworth 1. Marco
Blue
Fu
went in
5.
the wrong pocket. Fu on a go now, but it's not happening for him, and maybe a bit fortunate not to leave something there. He's getting a bit, I think, fed up. I mean, he has said, of course, he's had this issue with his eyes and can come on during a match. That's why he started to play so quickly. Thanawat Tirapong Paiboon, our first winner in this session. He's beaten Gao Yang. He finished off with breaks of 90 and 73 to win 4-0. As Fu does pot that red. So he's off to Cheltenham, but of course he won't know who he plays yet until the completion of the first round, when the second round draw is made. Well, he's having a go, isn't he? I mean, look how quick he's playing here. Referee,
11.
obviously, he's got to spot the black, but he's going to throw his cue at a few, I think. And, of course, that can make him dangerous. That was handy, but not the red coming to block the black. That's annoying. Kind of sums up the afternoon for Marco. He's taking this blue on. Massive shot. Could be his last. But in it goes. Well, that just tells you he's made his mind up. It's time to attack and have a go.
25. 26.
Long Jihang now 3-1 over Noel Crowley.
33.
Oh dear. Well, he was in such a good position there, but what has he actually left? Maybe nothing. But as I say, it kind of sums up his afternoon. Looks like he's got fortunate, though. Still on the attack. And just get the feeling he's going to take yellow or brown on. It's going to be brown. Doesn't seem in the mood to play any more safety shots.
Six. 13. 14. 21. 22.
So getting closer to securing the frame. This black will do it, and the strategy is clear. Oh, well, the strategy is not to miss the black. That was
27.
a bit casual, but well, the scores took a bit of time to catch up there. So if the score is right on the screen, Hallworth needs snookers, but they took maybe the pace Fu was playing was the problem. But Hallworth does require snookers here. He needs 2 of them.
Stephen Hallworth, 8.
Mahmoud El Haridi from Egypt is going to be in the last 64 draw because he's beaten Lan Yahao 4-1. It's a really good win. I know that he's working with Lee Walker, actually. I saw Lee in the audience there, so that'll definitely be a help. Of course, Mark Williams is coach. Sort of forced into playing a safety shot there. I don't think he particularly wanted to. Was a bit fortunate in that frame when he broke down initially and of course didn't leave a red on. But he's dangerous now because he's sort of swinging his cue at everything. But 2 snookers needed with red and blue there.
Stephen Hallworth, 6.
Well, it's not looking too promising. Needs 2 snookers. He's in one himself. So it's looking very much like 3-2 here. But not yet. Needs to play on the black here. And then you never know, on the last red, the free ball potentially comes into it. Well, he's not on the black, so it's a taller order now. 44 behind with 35 on. Now he's 3 snookers.
Six. Stephen Hallworth, 6.
Oh, he's potted it. Didn't want to do that.
One.
So that's the end of that for this frame. Well, not conceding,
Stephen Hallworth,
but
1.
there's 43 in it with 27 on.
Two.
And Hallworth
Two.
remains
Frame.
in his chair. It's 3-2. So the winners in this session, Tanawat Tirapong Paiboon and Mahmoud El Haridi. 3-2 here to Hallworth, 2-2 On Yi and Yao Peng Cheng, 3-1 Long Jihang over Leon Crowley, and 3-1 to Jordan Brown over Lu Wenwei. See the little fan there on the table, just to help the players if they feel a little hot, because it is, you know, a hot day. Oliver Lyons is still there in the front row, supporting Stephen. Well, he's keeping his eye on something down in the arena. He'll be playing tomorrow. Got to the semis, Oliver, 2 years ago. John Higgins beat him 6-0, but it was a great experience to be playing in the one table setup. Ah, well, he's left. Fair enough. Maybe he's got a practice booked.
Frame 6. Stephen Hallworth to break.
So Stephen Hallworth leads 3-2, and he will have observed, of course, that Marco Fu has decided to basically make it all out attack now. That strategy may change. If he levels at 3-3, he might go back to the more measured game he's associated with. Can he just see this red? Looks like it. It's obviously tight, having said that. Hallworth was fortunate there to cover the potting angle. Nicely done. So Hallworth in first in frame 6. Yao Peng Cheng has gone 3-2 up meanwhile over on Yi. Well, he's got 6 reds in open play. Black's available to left corner, and it'll be available to right corner after he pots this one. So he'll be looking to make a few here. Certainly sort of 50 points on before he has to worry about developing anything. Oof, wow, wriggled in. Looks like it's cost him position on the black. Well, that's tight. Can he just see that? It appears so. I like the way he played that because he sort of acted as if it wasn't tight. Oh, I'm on the black, no problem.
27.
So he's picking off these loose reds. There's another one in the bottom of the cluster that goes as well.
$34.
Nothing wrong with what he's doing here. Some players like to go into the pack very early, but
41.
as I say, there was sort of 50 points thereabouts up for grabs when he came to the table, and he's taking them to establish a lead.
42.
So this is the last of the loose reds. We'll be looking for an angle with his next colour to split them, and if it comes off, then what a chance to get it won.
49.
Just looking to nudge some into play here, and a crucially, of course, land on one. Well, you got the first part right. You nudged them into play, but there is a red to the yellow pocket. It could have been easier. But it's a chance to win this match if it goes in. Big shot this for Stephen Hallworth.
Stephen Hallworth, 56.
Well, 56 is a useful lead. Well, thin doesn't even cover that shot. I mean, that was extraordinary. But he's going to have to play safe now, surely.
Marco Fu, 1.
It's very risky, the shot he played on the red, because had he missed it, he would have left it over the pocket. But anyway, he potted it, and now he's got Hallworth snookered. Oliver's back. I'm sure there on his phone he's keeping up to date with the other scores. That's what he's doing. Well, his good friend here in a spot of bother. Not least because, okay, it's 55 in front, but no real security, no balls on cushions.
Foul. And a miss. Marco Fu, 4.
It's going back.
Yeah. Yeah. Foul. The miss. Marco Fu, 4.
Well, Fu maybe just having a look, checking the red to middle, but could easily have it replaced again. Yep. Seemed likely he would.
Yeah.
So this is the third attempt to make contact.
Foul. The miss.
And here we have a
Marco Fu,
fourth.
4. Yeah.
And a fifth.
Foul and a miss. Marco Fu 4. Yep.
Got it. And he was looking to glance it. That's the thing. He didn't want a full contact because he'd leave the red on. So it was worth giving away the penalty points there, 16, to not leave a red on. I say not leave a red on. I mean, Fu's been going for all sorts in the last couple of frames. Good return safety from Hallworth. He's got a 39-point lead. So may now just be looking for one more opportunity to get this one. Is this going to reach? It's not.
Foul.
I can tell you Jordan Brown has got it won, 4-1 over Lu Wenwei. So it's this match and two others still on. Yang Peng Cheng 3-2 up on On Yi, Long Jiang 3-1 up on Leon Crowley. This is certainly harder. Is it online? It's not.
Foul, the miss.
Now then, would he be tempted by the red to the green pocket? He took that one onto the yellow pocket earlier and didn't get close. He's looking to see if there's one to right middle as well. Well, he's had a look at it all, but back we go. This looks better. Now, does that red pop to the middle? The one he's closest to? No. Back to the long grass. 47 the lead. So Hallworth will need a couple of reds and colours here to get over the line. But equally, it's quite an open table if Fu got the chance. Well, it's not a bad cue ball for Marco Fu, but the red is on. If he can knock it in and land on a colour, then he should win. Could have been a lot worse that. He's on the pink. I can tell you Long Jiang has beaten Leon Crowley 4-1. Always tell when matches finish because it just gets a bit quieter in the arena. You hear fewer balls being knocked in. Well, he's not playing the pot, I don't think. Protecting the lead, pushing the green safe.
Stephen Hallworth, 1.
Well, is that the last throw of the dice from Marco Fu? That's been his strategy from 3-1 down to really go for his shots, but he has stuck Hallworth plumb in and he's already gathering his things together, ready for a swift exit. It's up to Hallworth to put him away here.
1.
This is the winning red, and you can see already Fu,
7.
he's not going to play him for snookers. He's ready to get out of here.
8.
So Stephen Hallworth will be in Cheltenham in the last 64 of the British Open, and will await the draw when it's made for round 2. Good battling win, I think, this. Marco Fu has not been
15.
at his best, but that's not Hallworth's problem. He's had to mind his own stuff. Played a good last frame.
16.
Didn't get sort of sucked into the Marco Fu's all-out game. He played his own game in this frame, and it's worked. And of course, it follows up his qualification a few weeks ago for the Wuhan Open,
21.
which is actually the week before the British Open.
22. $29. 30.
Well, can he just enjoy these moments of victory? And he'll be back on Saturday night to play Liam Davies in the qualifying for the English Open. Marco Fu takes on Hamad Mir earlier in the day. Stephen Hallworth defeats Marco Fu by 4 frames to 2, and he advances to Cheltenham for the last 64 of the British Open in just over a month's time. So Stephen Hallworth successful, and we'll see who is successful at 7 o'clock when we return for our 4th session of the day here at the qualifiers for the Unibet British Open. It will be Liam Pullen against Daniel Wells. So Liam Pullen, Daniel Wells, that's about 40 minutes from now. So do join Michael McMullen for that one. But for me, thanks for watching, and from us all in Leicester, it's goodbye.